Today there are important updates from the Pokrovsk direction. Here, the Ukrainians launched another unexpected attack south of Pokrovsk to dismantle and counter the Russian offensive. By taking advantage of the frozen ground, Ukrainian troops surprised the enemy and pushed them out of another key stronghold. The planned Ukrainian counterattack at Dachenske is part of the larger strategy to take back previously lost positions around Pokrovsk piece by piece, while Russian forces remain weakened and vulnerable. With Russian offensive capabilities significantly depleted from months of failed assaults and devastating losses leading to the culmination of their offensive, Ukrainian forces saw an opportunity to strike before the enemy had time to reorganize. Many of the positions that the Russians have recently captured remain poorly defended, as they have been unable to properly fortify them due to a lack of resources. By striking now, Ukraine can not only reclaim critical positions, but also push Russian forces further away from Pokrovsk, forcing them to expend valuable resources in an attempt to consolidate gains rather than push forward. This presents a critical opportunity for the Ukrainians to continue their series of counterattacks in the region, successfully sabotaging the Russian outflanking strategy. To achieve this, the Ukrainians are launching surprise infiltration assaults, overwhelming unprepared Russian defenders before they can react. Many Russian troops holding recently captured positions are still adjusting to new terrain and lack established defensive fortifications. In several areas, Russian forces have been unable to properly dig in, exposing them to sudden and rapid Ukrainian counterattacks. These assaults are purely infantry-based, relying on speed, maneuverability, and close-quarters combat to push the Russians out before they can call for reinforcements. The cold winter conditions of Donetsk Oblast play a crucial role in making this possible. With temperatures dropping to -15 degrees Celsius, the normally muddy and impassable river has frozen over, allowing Ukrainian troops to launch surprise attacks by crossing on foot. Under normal circumstances, the river would be a natural barrier to movement, but the freezing temperatures have transformed it into a solid path for infiltration. While armored vehicles are still too heavy and would sink in the mud, infantry forces can move quickly and stealthily. Ukrainian forces also hold key fortified positions north of the river that makes these attacks even more effective, as they provide secure staging areas, complete with underground bunkers and concealed movement routes. These allow them to prepare for attacks close to the Russians without being detected until it is too late to react on time. Surprise plays an important role as well, as Russian forces are largely unprepared for Ukrainian counterattacks. Having spent weeks focusing on offensive operations, they are not expecting a sudden Ukrainian push. The 68th Ukrainian Jaeger Brigade released a geolocated video about their well-planned assault on Dachenske. After days of reconnaissance and tactical preparation, Ukrainian forces decided to act while Russian defenders were still establishing their positions. Before the assault, Ukrainian artillery pounded key enemy locations, creating chaos and limiting Russian response capabilities. Once the shelling ended, an assault group stormed the first Russian-controlled basement, clearing it with grenades and suppressive fire, and then took it under control themselves, waiting for another Ukrainian group to storm the next one. Due to the constant support from a drone with thermal vision, Ukrainian forces were able to locate a Russian stronghold in another house and effectively neutralize it with a bigger explosive dropped by a vampire drone. Caught off guard, the Russians failed to mount an effective defense and tried to regroup, but after refusing to surrender, their forces were quickly eliminated. Overall, Ukrainian forces are systematically reclaiming ground around Pokrovsk, weakening Russia's offensive potential and delaying any potential breach of the city. By striking now, they force the enemy into a dilemma: either continue neglecting defensive preparations and risk losing more key footholds, or divert already stretched resources to fortify their positions at the cost of their failing offensive. With each regained position, Ukraine not only disrupts Russian assault plans, but also secures valuable time to reinforce Pokrovsk's defenses, ensuring that any future Russian attempts to advance will be even more costly and difficult. If you are against the invasion of Ukraine and you want to support the work that I am doing, consider subscribing to our own independent news website. Here you can find our exclusive strategic insights, comprehensive overviews of all fronts, and regular tactical analysis videos. By subscribing, you will not only show your support for this channel, but also help and defend independent journalism. The link to our website is in the description. Thank you for watching this report, and I appreciate everyone who stepped up to join us.